Hey there, and welcome back to Trainwreck, an educational monster train series where you watch me struggle at around 200 Pact Shards. Alright, here we go. Back at it again. This is me recording on a weekday is always a gamble, right? We've had this happen before where I record on a weekday and suddenly it's like, whoops, I have a meeting or something, or the run took longer than I expected. Why do I keep doing this? Well, it's because I enjoy the game. So here we are. What am I playing today? So our last run was with Fade. We had a Firelight 3 line. This is always a bog standard Fade run. Nothing too terribly fancy about it. There was a Paraffin Enforcer infused into draft situation, a couple copies of those, Lady of the Reformed. There was a very cool Nexus spike that we played that I'm very excited about. That was an Inferno into Crushing Demise. It's not often you get that combo, but when you do, the Inferno clears the floor of the wide targets, the low health ones, and then the second part of the spell, the Crushing Demise, kills the heavy that is surviving. So this is a very powerful, like, true floor clear, because it can not only guarantee you kill a mini-boss, for instance, it can also take out, a Dark Wings or something like that, while simultaneously not risking hitting any of the other ones, the weaker guys that you don't want to hit with Crushing Demise. It also very specifically requires a clan combo that has both Melting and Hellhorned in it, so, it's pretty tricky to come by. You also have to have those two cards. Anyway, it was fun. It's nice being able to show that off. I like that a lot. So we're moving on now to Echo Wright, who is, still not my favorite champion, but he's fine. So I guess we'll go ahead and get in on it. Yeah, I don't have much else to add. Another short intro, so hey, well, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Those things are cool. Lots of people are doing them, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff because I've only been awake for, 10 minutes at this point? So I'm definitely 100% coherent. Whew, alright, let's play Monster Train. As always, let's do it. Clicking the button, 100%. Trainwreck episode, that means 200 shards. Don't forget to click the shards. It's important. Interesting. Well, it's not as bad as it could have been. Hopefully you're all doing well today. I can't complain about today so far. I've been awake for so short of a time that I really haven't had a chance to discern anything about the day. I've got a lot going on at work. I think that's always the true statement, though, right? I mean, I've always got a million things going on because that's why they pay me. It's probably true of everyone who has a job, right? It's like, oh boy, here I go, have to go back to work and do 5 billion things. I will probably finish maybe 5 of the 30 things on my to-do list this week, and then we'll stress out about the other 25 as I gradually make progress over the course of the month on them. So that's kind of just the nature of a job, I suppose. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about that. I'm sure all of you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. You'd feel like you never really make any progress on your to-do list, and it's always constantly growing, and you're really only just focusing on the most important thing at a given time, which oftentimes isn't actually that important. It's just something that the company told you to do because they're like, all right, do this. It has to be done by this day, and you're like, all right, well, there goes everything else on my to-do list, right? So that's where I'm at. Anyway, let's play Monster Train. Let's not think about that right now. Today we are Exile Wurmkin, Exile Melting. It's a fine clan combo. I usually don't have anything to say negative about this. Nothing wrong there. We're facing, what is this? Rage Talos, Curse Arcus, Chaste Seraph. We have Proclamation, Dripfall, Forced Contamination. Cool. All of these are good cards. They're not amazing cards, right? They're not answering things like offensive scaling or anything like that. But they are, they do damage and they clear waves. Force Contamination is very good for putting down mini-bosses or very scary enemies, things like that. Dripfall is also just good for manipulation. You can overstack with it, but you can also use it to just get things back, deal with them on a later turn, something along those lines. So, pretty good. Nothing to say wrong here. Temples today are on 2, 3, 4, and 8. Whew, good job. I'm always worried when I see the 2, 3, 4 temple because it might just mean you get none others than that. We at least do get 1 on 8, which is nice. I feel like this is deja vu. I feel like I just recorded an episode that had this exact situation, and I think I made that exact commentary as well. Ridiculous. Well, as it turns out, when I play Monster Train, I think the same way no matter what day I do it. So, hey, there it is. We have a removal dupe on Magic side on 8. It's good. I like it. If we can use it, we will. Probably need it for the shard count. Only 4 temples. Another dupe cave on 7, competing with Magic, no steel. We have Magic and Steel on 6. Magic has the Vortex. Everything else is fine. Trinket with no money, but it does have a Horde. It's pretty okay, right? We're going to need a lot of cash to go to that Trinket shop on 5. And it competes with a very good Steel shop with Vortex, so we'll see. Magic shop, no Steel on 4. That is the second floor without a Steel shop. 7 as well as 4, which means we have a good chance of, 2 Steel shops in the early game as a result. Seems good. The Magic shop on 4, however, before I move on, has a Remnant Banner and a Vortex. Pretty strong. It's bonus options and removals and a shop all packed in one. The other side has very little to compete with this. It's like a Hellvent, health, money. Very unlikely I'd go to this Hellvent here on Ring 4. Early game, we get a lot of banners. Steel shops both have Remnant Banner on Ring 2 and then health on Ring 3. The Wurmkin banners are on the Magic side and the Horde. I'm probably going to want a Wurmkin banner because I'm playing with Echo Right, and there's a lot of natural synergy there with etches and things like that. So, and eggs as well. So we'll see. I probably do want to look at a Wurmkin banner unless we hit like a unit draft or something. So we'll see. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit this Horde Bog Slime. I mean, Memorial Fund is great, but it's Echo Right plus Bog Slime? Yeah, obviously. Right? There's no questions in my mind. We grab the money. Shellsmith Repeater. Shellsmith Repeater is a terrible roll here because we literally have no consume cards. So the only question here is, how do I not lose on Ring 1? Tough. Okay. Things like Proclamation are going to be important. Shellsmith is not terrible, you have to understand, but it's also not very good. Think about this in terms of like, I don't know, Steelworker or something. Steelworker requires no interaction and just gives you a ton of armor. And you can self-infuse him for another ton of armor. Echo Right requires the Etch. Now, the tough thing is that I don't think Repeater... I like Repeater 3, okay? Return 2 consumed cards. The problem is you have to protect Repeater 3, and that is just a dangerous game, right? Shellsmith at least can take a hit, and he can maybe be a frontline if you can generate enough etches that he does survive. So I lean towards taking the Shellsmith here. The one downside is, when you miss Marshllord, you never get the big egg at the end because of the way Marshllord scales, and we really never feel great about getting stuck with the middle guy. So the pivot is not going to be very attractive here. I think we take Shellsmith and hope for the best. Okay, I think so. Yikes. Well, Echo Right's probably getting chucked, is my thought here. Mark of Invasion. We do have pings. We have tools for this. I think we're going to take it. The pings maybe give us a collector as well, so we don't miss that. Seems good. How are we approaching this? I think it's going to be Train Steward, shoot 1, play Echo Right. Now, I could put something else on this floor. I could drop the other guy and not deal with him, not take this 3. It does mean we're going to eat dirt a little bit on next turn. I'm a little bit more inclined to actually drop something out of middle, deal with him later. Chill like that, I think, is fine. Take this 3. We'll do our best here. We get the ping on middle. I can do Primitive Mold upstairs, which will tank this round, burn out, kill a guy. Great. What else is there? I want to use this ping. With Proclamation, we could push through the Protector here. I can take 1. I could stop this 1 damage in exchange for making the next turn a little safer. Let's deal with the foot soldier here while we can and take this one. I think this is an acceptable trade. We get to reform one more time. We get the proclamation middle, which is great. I'm going to put another primitive mold on that floor. We're going to just play the train steward here. I can get the one behind him, right? We can play this like this and we get this other fellow. I'll put the primitive mold up here, and I'm actually going to split apart the two foot soldiers. This seems reasonable. Reasonable. This guy's burning out anyway. I don't care. Coming up, we have an echo break, so I can be a little bit aggressive about this. Let's put the primitive mold middle here. And then just shoot the guy behind the boss, I think. Seems good. Okay, I'm looking for like a... Okay, yeah, I was going to say I'm looking for the forced contamination here for Relentless. And I want to make sure to connect the 15 with it for 60 damage. Let's not play this train steward, though. I want to see if I can get the other big guy in with a reform. Okay, yeah, the reform, because this actually means I put the train steward in front, and we get the kill that way. Yeah, great. Okay, good. Cool. The drip ball wasn't going to do anything. This guy's burning out and not dying, so it doesn't really matter. We managed to push through, taking only 4 damage with an otherwise difficult combat because our champion is doing nothing. So, anyway, I'm going to take Return Soul. It's pretty much necessary for me to take this with Etches. I have to give up both offensive scaling and a better proclamation, but I think I must click that Return Soul. Molten Encasement. I'm going to go with Wicklash here. I just gave up the Echo Transfer, so let's take something that says damage here. I think that's wise. Now, I would really like a Wurmkin unit more than a Steel Shop and a Remnant Banner, so we're going to go to the right. I have a holdover target, which is the Return Soul, so that's good. We see it. Okay. I mean, with that in mind, I think we have the etches we need to win this run. We're just going to hold over that Return Soul and really crush there. And we see a First of Kin, which is a payout here. So that's honestly great. Yeah, it's honestly great. We'll take it. Okay, Direction. We like it. Plus 30, 10 in Piercing. I will make a Proclamation. And I might actually prefer making it a Super Proclamation. This is a ridiculously good X5 target. Sadly, it's not purple, because we couldn't take that one. We had to take the Return Soul, but it's good we did. Yeah, I'm going to make a super guy. I don't think we have a good infusion here, but this will help. -1. I guess I'll make Wicklash cheaper. It's a good pick. +10s are wise. We can make a Proclamation hit a little harder. I don't think we need to reroll here. There's nothing I want to reroll into. The -1 is acceptable, but I'd rather save the money for the Steel Shop now that we actually have something good here. Let's move on. I have no good infusions, and I'm not going to do a Train Steward self-infuse here. We can aggressively take the Spikes trial here. I have a First of Kin, which is fantastic. Now I think we want to just put Echo right in front here. You could go either way on this, right? We have a tankier First of Kin, but he's also the one that hits harder, and I'd like to protect him. So I think I'm going to play this in the back. You could argue yourself either way here, but yikes, that's a scary looking mid-floor dude, huh? Let's go Primitive Mold upstairs. I'm going to Return Soul and Echo Break here so I can pop for Collector. I'm then going to drip the Curse Fellow down. Now that does mean I have to deal with him on another turn, but with a purple on this floor, any Echo Breaks I draw can answer that. Now I want to actually prioritize, yeah, see, like an Echo Break middle does this work here. I do want to prioritize etching upstairs. I consider this pretty important. Let's just burn that on middle. I don't really want to take 14 damage here. I'm going to drip this guy off the floor, as crazy as that sounds. We've created a super floor. Everyone hates this. I'm going to now Return Soul again, take the drip fall. and I'm going to drop this guy off this floor one more time, so we can hopefully deal with him again later. If I'd played this in the other direction, we take a lot less damage. I don't really know what else I can say here. We're going to eat a little bit of dirt on this one, but it's fine. Woof. Now, fortunately, we do only take 7 more from this guy. I think the play, if I'm being honest with you, is dealing with the reconcilers here, though I would love nothing more than to etch a couple times. So, I think we need to ping one fellow here. What could I even draw into? There's a lot of things I could draw into that are really good. So I think the Return Soul must be on an Echo Break, so I have a better card draw next turn. And we've managed to reduce this guy to 55 under, so he only hits me for 7. Dangerous, but we managed to pull it off. Alright, we actually do get a really good answer here where we can beat this fellow. So I'm going to go ahead and just go in on this. Hit him again. Great work. We push a good solid like 90 or 105 in the beginning there. We make it through the combat. We take a lot of damage, though. I was playing a little aggressive. Okay, we get the Echo Transfer back. I'm going to click that. That's great. And it's purple. That's great. Molded. Don't care. Hallowed Drippings. It's itself a... You know, it's not bad, right? I have the Wicklash, so I can actually lean into Burnout a little bit. Yeah, sure, we'll take it. And it's an Etch. We're going left. I want to look at a Steel Shot. I'll take the health as well. Happy about that. Endless. I mean, we didn't take the tomb, but I have no space for it anyway. Roll this. Ah, multi-strike. Great. Thank goodness. I'm over here looking at this like, well, you kind of really have to hit a multi-strike for a First of Kin. So, anyway, I guess I'm putting a 10 in piercing into this proclamation now. Sure. Seems good. Now, do I fill him up with the plus 30, the plus 25? I think we do. We just go in on this, right? I can actually super stack a floor by using Dripfall here, so it's not impossible. We're going to go ahead and hit the cavern in case we get a tiny stone or something. It's actually just garbage. I'll take Flicker's Liquor, though, for 5 health. That's well worth it. It's a Cave of 1,000 Eyes. I do have to take this plus 30, so I'm just going to put it into an Echo Break here. It's fine. Now, still no infusions at all. Do I have to infuse here? Let's look. All right, take 25 here, 85, 100, 110, 120. Assume I infuse here and get the 50. That's only 170. 170 requires I double dupe some power plays, which is possible. I get 15 from a proclamation here. I could dupe the guy at the end, the First of Kin, once infused. So that's super doable. 2 dupes are required for it, which means my ring 7 is locked in, and is my ring 8. That's fine. I think that's acceptable. I can also just kind of keep some of these trained stewards and not worry about this now. Have 2 of them in the wings for a second infusion on ring 8. I think that's acceptable. I don't love carrying them that long, but I don't feel strong enough to really go too crazy here. Let's move on. We should be okay though, right? I'm not too afraid of it. The Flicker's Liquor definitely helps, right? Because it means I can do things like ping, and then I can, oh no, I didn't play my First of Kin, but then you just play the Train Steward, and it's like we're actually super chill. I'm going to put Echo right in back here for now, just because I do think we want to push front lines. I think this should be okay. Play a purple up top so I can get the Echo Transfer in. We'll ping someone on mid-floor. I'm actually not going to burn this Hallow Drippings here. I'd like to use it after the Wicklash. I can always Return Soul it back for whenever I need it, so it's fine. I'm just going to drip Talos off this floor and not deal with it. It seems good to me, right? And then bottom floor is scary, so let's try to actually... No, we actually don't get any numbers there because they do so much damage. Let's just get them all sacrificed, get them out of here. Yeah, fine. Dicey. A lot of damage coming in, but it's okay. Alright, we do get the Absolute Shadow Realm here, which is pretty good. We're going to blast a guy up top, for sure. Yes, I wish to Primitive Mold mid-floor, and we'll just Proclamation mid-floor out. I can play the Train Steward here. I could potentially drop this Clergy. It's not a bad idea, right? Sure, we'll drop him, save some health, it's okay. It delays the rage a little bit. Fine. Great. We blast a man upstairs. Fantastic news. We ping a friend. It's good. I'm going to go ahead and return soul. We're just going to burn a primitive mold on this one. Just get some armor going. Get to ping something on middle. You know, we're just playing cards, really. There's nothing too fancy here, I don't think. Alright, cool. Now, from this position, I can do Wicklash, Return Soul, Wicklash, and make some good progress on that. We can generate purples on other floors, and then I will draw into the Hallowed Drippings here, so we should be golden. Not terribly afraid, and it's a big damage boost, so I'm feeling decent about that. I'm going to blast mid-floor, get that out of there. We'll return soul, and honestly, just primitive mold, burn that. Seems okay. Play another thing downstairs. Guess I'll generate purples. It's fine. Sure. Top floor is cleared out. Great work. We actually don't draw, believe it or not, we actually don't draw the thing we need to, but there's other tools. I just get a proclamation here that absolutely Shadow Realms the boss. It's fine. It's not bad. We have no real problems. Look at us. We know how to play the video game. It's great. I suppose that Wicklash was a bit of a risk because the holdover on Return Soul results in maybe not being guaranteed to see that Hallowed Drippings, but either way, you're seeing some tool that answers that challenge, so it's not that big of a deal. Formless Child. Is it ever Formless Child? I don't think so. I don't think so. You could take the Accelerated Incubation on the off chance that you're able to play a Martial Lord pivot here, but we probably will be reliant a little bit on the what is it? The Echo-Right Shellsmith survivability. The other thought I'm immediately having, though, is I might need to double up on this stuff. This stuff being double up on First of Kin. I can take space and do that. I don't think I need to do that now. I'm going to take draw here, but the thing you need to think about is how can I super stack a floor, right? You can drip these together. Unfortunately, it does daze an ally, so that's a bummer. I would have to take space anyway to get Echo-Right plus First of Kin on one floor in middle and then drip the second guy in. So I think we're going to plan on, I don't know about Eternal Kinstone. We generate plenty of echoes thanks to Bog Slime. I'm going to take Accelerated Incubation. There's the non-zero chance that I do this, but also more importantly, it is just an etch, which is fine. Ugh, really? Really? That's a really rough unit set. Tycoon is a very do-nothing. Kinhost Carapace does nothing. I could go left and look at a Remnant banner, but is it guaranteed to be better? Not really. Not a huge fan. I guess Kinhost Vessel might be it. It's not the worst for clearing backlines if we don't die horribly, right? The Reap plus Echo Generation, I guess. I could go to the right here, dupe Self-Infuse. That is an option. Honestly, that's a better option if I'm being real with you. I can rely on Shellsmith here. These are trash. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to take draw here. to offset the Return Soul holdover. And I'm going to go right and... yeah, alright, fine. Look, I'm not happy about it. I don't want to go to the right here. I want the removals and everything, but I need a better quality infusion for this, and yeah, here we are. Better quality infusion. Got it. So there it is. First of kin self-infused. Another 10 in piercing? I guess we're making super echo break, sure. Spell chain. I'm going to tell you right now, holdover, spell chain, return soul is a weapon of mass destruction. I'm going to burn through this entire deck, and it's probably, I'm doing it, right? It's correct, for sure. Okay. We do not see the Shellsmith, or rather the Marshallord pivot. We instead see Repeater. Repeater is great because, I'm just going to click that. It's a free etch every turn, which not only feeds into... it's essentially the same as Echo Right Shellsmith 2, right? Because I get the extra, what is it called? Etch back, but it's also free scaling, so it's almost always correct to go Shellsmith 2 Repeater 1 when shown. Yeah, I can take Ancient Hate. Not a problem. Okay, now the real question is, how do I actually make sure to kill everything? I think we definitely need to go Echo Right in front. Now, we could play this to guarantee that I get all the cards out, and I will. Let's drip the guy in front, then you go, oh no, but then we play Echo Right, and it makes First of Kin free. I think First of Kin must be in front here. We will etch. See, we get that etch back, right? We get this card returned to us, which is nice, so I can just play it again for more scaling. I can double tap middle to get the collector, which is well worth it. It's good to start. Like, this accelerated incubation has already paid for itself, if I'm being clear with you. It has done fantastic work here. Now, I should prioritize the proclamations on floors that have 3 enemies, right? Yes, the scariest one, I know what you're thinking. Oh no, Trusted Priest, right? Like, I'm going to let him walk for 5. I'd much rather let him walk for 5 than let this Light Harnesser on bottom walk for, like, 40. So, what we're going to do is we're going to play the Primitive Mold down here. I'm going to take a ping, and I'm just going to frag that guy in front. I'm also going to... I'll play a Train Steward out, sure. We're not going to play the Hallowed Drippings, am I? I think we're fine. We're going to wait on that. That's a lot of damage coming in. Mr. Accelerated Incubation doing a lot of great work here. I can ping out an enemy entirely upstairs, which is fantastic. Accelerated Incubation, let's go. Now, what is my Return Soul? The problem is I'm going to be having... like, there's a lot to think about here, right? I don't like having to think so hard. Just burn a Primitive Mold, right? We're just going to burn weapons, pretty much. And it's going to be great, right? Sure, just play a ton of my units because they're free, essentially. I will Return Soul once again on... honestly, just burn another Primitive Mold here. It's fine. I'm going to shoot a man up top just to save the 14 health, which seems good. And then generate purples on other floors, I think, is fine. Sure. We have the ability to do a lot of good here. I'm going to blast this guy middle so that I actually no, we're going to play it upstairs to save 8 health, right? Then we're going to go Wicklash in front, Return Soul, Wicklash, burn the Wicklash, Return Soul. On the Echo Break, that's a big gun. Shoot the guy on mid-floor. We Primitive Mold. Just keep playing it all out. This Force Contamination must not be played. Doesn't matter. We're just firing weapons, essentially. We're going to blow a guy up upstairs. I am just going to etch that back. That's fine. Just to save the 14 health. Cool. I'm then going to Return Soul back the Forced Contamination. We'll ping once downstairs. Get a Forced Contamination on the boss here. Hit a Primitive Mold upstairs. And I'm going to Drip Fall burnout middle, drip fall. The double drip fall here prevents him from resolving to very high levels of damage, which essentially means this guy is neutered. We get the hallowed drippings, fantastic. I can ping out the guy in front to save a hit. I'm going to go ahead and hit this return soul. We're going to go in on double drips here, basically, which is pretty sick if I'm being honest with you. So, I mean, we're actually super good here, right? This guy has been dripfalled into ether. He doesn't even get to swing on me, which is incredible. And then we go Proclamation, and you get to see how crazy this gets, right? We go Proclamation, look at this. I return soul, the return soul, you know, which then return souls the Echo transfer. We go pop off here, we shoot him, we return soul the last thing, you know. Like, absolute crazy turn that burns all my stuff away. And this man just explodes for 1,000 damage and at that turn. So that's kind of what we're looking for, right? That right there. And we can take a lot of random cards. So like Ancient Resonance, great, let's grab it, right? That's fine. Crushing Demise, incredible, let's grab it. These are good cards that I can just burn as needed. Now, I don't need First of Kin to get anything new. I don't necessarily hate the Train Stewards. They're annoying. I have $600. Let's go to this trinket shop. Right? I think that's fun. It's more useful than the steel side. Let's see what's in here. What do we get? First Hell Pact. I have no X-costers, right? Right, okay. Fade's First Blade is free damage. I don't hate that necessarily. Let's grab the Horde, see what we get. Forever Flame is fun. Dun Echo is not bad. Forever Flame does mean that I can pretty casually play the First of Kins if I need to, which is good, I guess. Dun Echo, I don't really need the purples for anything. We generate so many with the etches. Let's just take the Forever Flame, I guess. It's fine. We'll take the Horde in the middle. Pyrestone Housing. I mean, now suddenly that steel shop looks really good, but that's okay. We'll take the Pyrestone Housing now anyway, and then I'll just go to the steel shop on ring 6 and find something. That's cool. Fade's First Blade is free damage, but I don't think it's worth 210. I'm going to re-roll here. Lost Luggage is worth 230. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take this cave. Oh, well. You know, on the one hand, Pyrestone Housing is a bummer, right? Because I'm literally filling that slot now. On the other hand, making this First of Kin one space completely cracks open the game in such a major way that I'm not even worried about it. Oh no, Pyrestone Housing. Ah, bummer, right? Huge bummer. And now I'm going to go double Hellvents and just make 2 copies of those, and that's plenty enough to win. Great, we did it. I really don't even need to cut these Train Stewards at this point. They're free, and they make other cards free, and they're kind of just fodder for... Man, I don't even need to go to the steel shop now. They gave me a minor refraction. They're just fodder for reforms at this point, which is fine, I guess. It doesn't matter. We have so much Ember management here. Do I need to remove anything? I mean, it speeds me up is the only thing. Cutting them is good, if just to speed me up a little. I'll buy 1 removal here. It's fine. The nice thing about this, I can get away with... Oh yeah, Mark of Invasion for sure. I can get away with not needing to take... Well, actually, I'm still going to take space, right? Because I would like to get Echo right plus 3 of those goons on a floor, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, they're cute. Look how tiny he is. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put a Train Steward on the floor because you might as well. I'm going to play the Wicklash because I can immediately get the Hallow Drippings here, which is a good play. I'm just going to play a whole bunch of purples because you might as well. And I'm going to shoot some of the scary guys downstairs, play some purples on other floors. It's fine. Sure. Right, because see, we're also repeatering here the Burnout Extender. So we're good. Now, I'm going to crush middle. And then I'm going to Echo Break middle, and that's fine. Top floor, I'm not going to mess around too much. True. I am going to play Primitive Mold into Proclamation downstairs, work on that floor a bit. The thing is, I want to avoid scaling those guys up, so this is better. Alright, we're going to go hard now. It's Hallowed Drippings into the Accelerated Incubation, into Echo Transfer, play something, ping one guy bottom. I do desperately need to solve how I'm going to kill enemies. So I must spend some etches on this. Return Soul. Now, there are a lot of tools I could take here. Right, I could double ping here. The thing I have to make sure I'm good at is I need to make sure mid-floor gets cleared somehow. I have a bunch of good answers drawing up, so I think the play is we double etch upstairs. And we only lose the one guy, but I'm not actually that upset about it. It's fine. Sure. And we bring back in Echo Break. So we're chilling, right? I can reform that goon. He just kind of chills on the floor. It's cool. We're going to shoot a man for sure. Ping once, ping twice. That gets the kill. It's great. I do want to kill on middle. Take out that man. Now, what am I burning here? I really don't want to think too hard about this. It's easy to overthink these. So let's just burn unimportant cards, right? Burn unimportant garbage called Primitive Mold. It's fine. And then we just play some of these guys middle, and I don't think they're ever swinging, but it's fine. I don't want to drip off of top, so let's actually just drip on middle. It's fine. Look at that. We actually kill a guy. Great news. Fun. Let it ride. Cool. Yeah, they actually hit something, which was cool. That's great. There's nothing in the pool right now, which is fine. I can just clear top floor immediately, which is almost certainly going to be correct. But play the Echo Transfer first. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I want to play this mid floor, don't I? I super do. So with that in mind, we blast middle, which clears most of those targets. We shoot once up top, and then we shoot again up top. And now it's, I mean, we've done it. It's just a matter of, like, just holding stuff over. We'll leave tools in. I don't really care that much. You know what's crazy? I can actually reform here. Check this out. We put this man down. I actually drafted the Hallow Drippings here, which is crazy. So he lives, which is cool. How do I want to approach this? I think I kind of want a Proclamation bottom floor. I think we're going to crush bottom. That's a great roll. Good. Fantastic. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, how do I want to approach this situation? So I can shoot this guy downstairs for a solid 250. We're going to win this combat. I'm not terribly concerned about it. What if I just double drip here? Or single drip and just build up some scaling? It's fine, right? We return soul here. 35 damage. That's a big number. How much health do these guys have? More than that. Not a problem. I'm overthinking it, basically. Don't grab Crushing Demise. Grab the Drip Fall here. This is fine. And then just burn it again. And then we will return soul something. I'm going to shoot this guy upstairs, actually. It's fine. It really doesn't matter too terribly much. And then I can grab the Proclamation on here. We'll take the 8. I'm going to blast the boss for 250. Beautiful. All good. We get Hallowed Drippings back even again, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and return soul. Where is it? Wicklash is your friend. Do damage. Mid-floor is you ping. You forced contamination. And then we're going to play the Return Soul on, honestly, the other Drip Fall and keep that daze rolling, I think. We'll bring back... It doesn't matter, right? We already have the win. But basically, the angle here is I want to Return Soul. Wow, unfortunately, it did cycle back. Force Contamination's not in there. It's not a big deal. We're just going to burn a whole bunch of resources here, and it's actually great to do, right? We shoot this dude. It doesn't really matter. We keep shooting this guy. I mean, we do a ton of damage. I take 2 from the guy and back, and then we do like 600 to him. It's fine. You don't want to overthink these things. It's easy for this to take a million turns. You want another Force Contamination? I do like that card, as it turns out. Sure, I'll take it. It's ammo, right? 100% ammo. Remnant Pact isn't bad, right? You can put this on Echo Right and stick him in front, and if he dies, it's fine. It's actually a good tool. We'll take it. Sure. I like it. I guess I'm going to go to a magic shop. Sure, why not, right? I don't need the steel shop for anything because I did end up finding Tiny Stone, so great. I am probably going to cut some Train Stewards. I do want to make some of these consume cards cheaper because I'm likely to cycle them or things like that. So like 1 cost Ancient Resonance is worth it. Now I do want to also keep in mind, I guess I have all the Echo Breaks for Tendon Piercings and things. Doesn't really matter then. Alright. Making it 1 cost is fine, so if I single time Return Soul it, we're okay. I'll do that. The plus 10 here, don't really care. Double stack? Double stack Force Contamination is very fun, although also double stack Dripfall is entertaining as well. This can be a surprising defensive play. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We have a lot of cash, and I'm not afraid at this point. So, another holdover, huh? If I want to hold over anything at this point, it's Crushing Demise. Just kill an enemy, as it turns out, is pretty good. So let's actually make that guy free. The plus 10 here can chill. I'm going to buy a removal, I guess. Well, I have removals here, so let's cut a Train Steward. And leave the 2 Train Stewards in, because it might be necessary, right? Do the math real quick. 135... 145, assume no infusion, so 170, right? 145 goes to 170 here, and then we double dupe 1515. We get that, I mean, that's 200, so with that in mind, I can just cut the Train Stewards. Great. My favorite thing to do is not have to think about it. I'm going to leave 1 in just because it's fine. Moving on. Cool. Alright, we should be cruising, right? I should have no real risk here, I don't think. Do I just play bottom floor? Nah, I can crush the floor out. I rolled really well here. I will do First of Kin first here. Seems weird, but remember I do actually want to minimize the days on my man. We'll drop Accelerated Incubation here. It's a good play. We're going to double tap downstairs and then just crush this guy out. Play purples, put Force Contamination on the boss. You may as well. We'll put a Train Steward out. There he goes. Cool. We don't actually get the Resolve trigger, unfortunately, but that's fine. We truly do just actually crush bottom floor to death. There's nothing fancy to say about it. I'm going to drip the boss down so I can just hit him with the Proclamation Force Contamination play. And we should be golden here, right? True, right? I think we're good. We just go single ping here, Ancient Resonance, crush, put a purple up top. Seems fine. Burnout, great. I guess I could have put him upstairs. It's funny. Doesn't really matter that much. We are still scaling. I am still just blasting this floor. Perfectly fine with that. Crush it out. Good. Play an Echo Transfer. We see the tools that we want. So it's Primitive Mold. We're going to Return Soul something back. We don't have to overthink this too much. So I'm just going to take like Force Contamination. Great. We blast him. Where's that Wicklash? Wicklash is coming up. I might as well get the Train Steward on the floor. Sure, buddy. Let's go. And at this point, I don't really need to do anything too fancy. Let's just take the Proclamation because it's cool. And then we'll just drip fall him for 2 days because I can, right? Play an Accelerated Incubation. Play the Wicklash here. So I'm going to go ahead and Return Soul on the Wicklash. Great. I'm going to go ahead and return soul on the Hallow Drippings now. Great. I'm just going to crush bottom floor. Excellent hit. Endless. I'm going to play it out because I might as well. We're looking pretty solid here, right? We actually got the Hallow Drippings back too, which is a very nice touch. I'm just going to keep dazing, I guess. I'm going to crush bottom. Sure. Most of this does not matter. We'll take Primitive Mold just so I can crush the, or rather, consume the Primitive Mold. I do think there's value in the Drip Fall here, getting rid of this curse, so I'm just going to play that out and chill, right? It's fine. Cool. Now, unfortunately, because of the way I've connected this, the melee weakness will not be hit by First of Kin, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not upset about it. We can, what, ping middle? And then ignore that floor, and we crush bottom. Play this out, crush this. I mean, yeah, we're in such good state, I don't really care all that much. Most of this is just fun stuff, right? I'm just playing cards now. Hooray, I'm playing cards. Oh, we took a hit. An enemy attacked me. Unbelievable. Anyway, here's 12 melee weakness on the boss. That seems pretty good. I can actually prop this up a little bit for funsies, and I will. I'm going to go ahead and return soul the... I have so many extra return souls just chilling in here. Now, I don't think... Does it actually give it the consume? Does it trigger? No, the purge triggers first. So, I was like, does that actually do what I want it to do? Spoilers. It does not. Let's just burn cards real quick. We're just getting rid of stuff here. And none of the rest of this matters. I'm going to put purples on middle. That'll be fine. Don't hold on to Crushing Demise. It doesn't matter. Yeah, hey, look at that. 15 melee weakness? That seems decent. Huh, neat. Now, what if I Primitive Mold here? I'm going to bring back the Echo Transfer first, right? Because if I put damage in the front here, it's actually pretty decent. Let's return soul the Proclamation back. And then we ping once and blast him for another 250. This is a good roll. This man is actually taking a lot of damage just from 19 times 45. Huh. Wait, I can do more. Nice. Okay, great. Let's return soul the Echo Break because that's fun. Then we get to return soul the Return Soul, which returns souls the Force Contamination again. I don't even have a target. Wait, I can do it. Ancient Resonance into Return Soul Ancient Resonance. Great. How much damage do you take from this Train Steward, man? That's 1,000 damage from a Train Steward. That's, you know what? Heck yeah, brother, get in here, right? That was great. Now, Echoes of the Past is probably awesome here, right? There's a lot of turns where I just have a whole bunch of Echoes that are doing nothing for me. I could just put those into a guy. So let's take that. We're just taking ammo, basically. I'm going to take space because as it turns out, I actually think having 3 of these guys on a floor is pretty good. So I think that's fine. We're going to go to the dupe. Cool. I'm going to take the cave first in case I get a quad upgrade. Wax and Spike's pretty good, actually, right? Awoken Rail Spike is probably also pretty good, obviously. Let's just take the Wax and Spike. I think it's better. I don't think it makes a big difference. Take the money, of course. We're going to make another copy of Mr. 15 Shard Man. Great, up at 160 now. It's got to be Shellsmith 2. There's no reason to take Repeater 2 here at all, so that's good. And that's a floor. Moving on. And then to confirm 160, we take the 25 here for 185. We dupe again, and we're golden, right? I should have no risks from this trial. I think we're fine. Cool. Echo Right. First of Kin. Does not really matter. I'll put them both in front. I think we're fine with that. Cool. Crush downstairs. Great. Progress. We'll daze something. Sure. Why not? Fine. Primitive Mold up top. It's okay. I guess we'll just get purples down. and then blast a guy, and that will do. Sure, seems good. Alright, let's crush middle. Hey, you know what? Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with it. Now, I am thinking this is a wax and spike turn, because I can repeater it back, which is very cool. So I'm going to play that, and then put the Wicklash in the middle here. And yeah, it brings back the wax and spike, which is pretty awesome. So here's where things get fun. Let's hit that Return Soul first. And let's just bring back an Echo Break. Nothing has to be... We don't have to overthink this too much. I'm going to Return Soul another Echo Break here. We're creating so that I can finally ping that man out. I want a Proclamation middle. Actually, no, I don't. We're fine. I was going to Proclamation middle to kill that front guy after getting the Echo on the floor. I guess I can just do it up top and save the health then. Sure. And then we'll take the Wax and Spike one more time, which is very cool. We're now up to really good levels of burnout, and I haven't even seen the Hallow Drippings yet, so we're chilling there. I can just stop incoming damage. It's good. I'm going to crush middle for sure. Play a purple. I might as well. I'm going to Return Soul on something here. There's always something that I want to bring back. I guess I'm just going to Primitive Mold here. This is a lot of damage to just take. I don't love that. But I don't think we have to worry too much about it either. Let's just take an Echo Break back. I'm not going to use it upstairs. I'm going to actually use it middle floor here. That's good. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, we get another Wax and Spike back. Great. I can play the Endless Play here. It's good. We'll drop the Hallow Drippings in. Great news. I can just face tank, actually, with the Train Steward. Incredible work. He still fits on the floor in sort of a ridiculous fashion, which is great. Alright, we get the Return Soul. Let's crush middle, see what we roll. Alright, fine. Return Soul here is... Echo Break, I think. Ping one out. Return Soul again on... Honestly, big Echo Break. Blast mid-floor. Scary guy downstairs, actually. We'll deal with him in a minute, I think. Hit that. Get that wonderful extra free damage here. We get Wax and Spike back again. Yeah, here we go. Ancient Resonance clears middle, and then we just crush this man to death, and we're golden. Beautiful, honestly. Let's boost numbers here. Hit the Return Soul. We'll generate purples on this one, which is good. We get to play the guy in front again, which is cool. We'll continue burning cards. Good. And then we can drop the Wax and Spike here, which is also nice. Yeah, we're fine, right? Super fine. I can then crush bottom and just deal with these guys. Ping this out. It's fine. Nailed it. Here is the Wicklash. It's good. We Return Soul the Wicklash. Kind of keep it rolling. I'm going to go ahead and daze this man, and then Return Soul the Dripfall, daze him again. And we should cruise from here, right? The guy now will not swing on me at all. Here is a Force Contamination. That'll be fun. Return Soul on... Honestly, it is this other double-stacked Dripfall for sure. Blast him. Primitive Mold, Return Soul, burn the Primitive Mold here. Chillin'. Drop Crushing Demise. And we're good, right? No real risk here whatsoever. You can just kind of aggressively click cards. I'm going to click them because it's good to do it, and you can't stop me. But, oh wait, Return Soul to Return Soul here for sure. Send it. Send it. Echo Transfer is more fun. And then I get a plus 42 to cap it out, and we're chilling. Tons of damage. Incredible work. Okay, alright. Wurmkin Etchings is almost certainly nuts. We're gonna click that, yes. Sacrificial Resurrection. You know what is actually pretty nuts as well? Now, I don't really want the draft, but if I draw this on turn 1, I can potentially, like, 8 times Etch on turn 1. It's a pretty good card. Let's grab that. We're just taking ammo at this point. We have to go to the dupe. Yes. Everything has been foretold. This -2 is going, I guess, somewhere. I'll put it in Wurmkin etchings. That's a nice touch. Intrinsic here. Oh my god, wait a second. Intrinsic on Sacrificial Resurrection. Hold up. We've done it. I've done it. Make another copy of The Man. 200 Pact Shards. Beautiful. Oh, Carving Karuska. Don't mind if I do. That's ridiculous. We're having a day now. Wow, okay. Sure. We're having quite a time. I'm gonna put a +10 in Ancient Resonance. We'll look at the shop for the trinkets. I mean, there might be something better here. Base charges something, sure. Improved Firebox is fun when you have the Lost Luggage. Sure, we'll take that too. Burn cards. It doesn't really matter what I burn, if anything. Actually wild. We're like out of control powerful right now. I'm actually going to permafrost the Sacrificial Resurrection. This has a moment where maybe it's not as good on turn 1, so this will buy us. We get to play it on the right turn. A free 20 consume is fantastic. A -1. I'm going to put this on Echoes of the Past because there are a number of times it gets the last play. Remove consume. I don't think I have a great target for this. I want to burn things. I guess I could buy a removal, but it's all ammo. So I don't really care. What if I just don't spend this money? It's probably correct to remove, remove the Train Steward. All right, we did it. Great. We got him. 34 cards, a lot of cards in the deck. 200 shards, we're perfect. Let's go blast here. I think Chase stands less than no chance. It's entirely possible we don't really use the Sacrificial Resurrection, depending on what we roll into. Yeah, like here you don't really want to burn all of these because you only have one First of Kin in play. The other cool thing is, because of all of this, I chose the space here so I could play middle if it became relevant. So it doesn't matter here because it's chased. But this way I can, depending on draw order, I can guarantee... Did I even vocalize this? I might not have. I can protect Echo right safely. But thanks to the Sacrificial Resurrection, we might actually be able to do it anyway. I mean, I can use the Deadweight as ammo here. So we're probably okay. We get this man in. It's good. You could burn all of this. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think we should burn all of it. Let's kill this man in front, though. I think that's well worth it. Purple's upstairs. So I can just drop the Echoes of the Past here for sure. I will generate a purple. Yeah, shoot the boss, fine. This is worthwhile because it gets rid of a Deadweight, which is great. I'm super in for that. It also lets me put a draft into the pool, which is fun. I do have reforms, so it's not a problem. Okay, First of Kin 1, absolutely. Yes, he drops. First of Kin 2, he dropped. Good stuff. I can ping out the man upstairs. I'm going to crush middle. I don't feel like dealing with Scary Guy. What if I just don't take this damage? That works for me. And then we get to play Wax and Spike here. If we have a decent shot at cycling back, we get it. That's great. Fantastic. Now we can do some real silly stuff here, alright? So we're actually super cruising. I can put this draft in. He can actually kind of just tank hits in a fun way. We then Wax and Spike here. I'm going to Wurmkin etchings. I'm going to crush middle after I shoot here. Right, I had a feeling that might be the case. Who do you force contamination? The boss, I guess? You might as well. Okay, he'll take only one, but it's enough. And now we get to do the real silly repeater stuff. Now the thing is, I would like to actually draw through my deck, so we do need to do other things. Like, first of all, we're going to Primitive Mold Return Soul here. I'm going to drop this guy in front. He is strong as long as I can actually, you know, as long as I can actually do the part where I get to hit with him, right? Return Soul is going to be on a tool that prevents me from taking Ember Drain, so we'll blast that. Then I get to drop the plus 20 Waxen Spike here. Excellent. I'm going to crush middle. Poor roll, but it's fine. Now, there is a strong argument for not playing this. I would like to draw my other cards, maybe. Actually, I'm just going to hit that Wurmkin Etchings. It's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. These are a good cycle, I think. We are more than powerful enough here. So, eventually this gets to a point where it's like it's going to cause me more problems than it's going to help. But, crush middle, thank you. Good hit. Great hit. Return Soul here is your friend. Just burn stuff and things, pretty much. We don't have to overthink this, so just like take out a Primitive Mold here. It's great. Burn it. Cool. Burn it. Cool. We eventually create more problems for ourselves with the Wurmkin Etchings, but at a minimum, like right now, it's great. And I'm just not going to play it at this point. We have more ammo that we'll bring in next turn, and it'll be fine. Yeah, a lot of things we can draw into that are helpful here. I'll put down Force Contamination. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and Return Soul that Force Contamination while I'm here. That seems pretty good, too. You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and Return Soul the Return Soul on this turn. Wait a second. What do you mean? What is he doing is what you're thinking. I'm going to play that Force Contamination and actually just win on this turn, you see. There's a very good reason I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm extremely competent. And then we're going to go ahead and bring back Sacrificial Resurrection and just etch the rest of the cards out. And we're golden, right? We just completely crush here. Yeah, fine. That's a pre-relentless on Chased. Good job. Shard of Divinity? Yeah, I'll always take that one. I actually think I would take the blank pages here too. We can play top floor here, and it's not really a concern whatsoever. Depending on draw, we might play middle, though. We see a drip fall. Yeah, see, 17, if you don't have the tools to etch on turn 1 consistently, this man actually kills your Echo Right on turn 2. We've been hedging against this for a while, but I think with the drip fall and an etch in hand, we're okay. This is actually also a really good Sacrificial Resurrection turn because we drew all 3 of my guys. So we're actually in a really good position here. Right? We just play all 3 of them without much issue, and I will play the Waxen Spike here for sure. Like, plus 28 is huge, absolutely, and I want to drip the boss. You know, actually, man, I actually think the right play here is to not do the Sacrificial Resurrection. I don't want to. It does provide 3 etches, which is pretty good. Actually, I'm not gonna do this. I want to just hold off for the time being. It seems kind of crazy, but I want to try to get a couple curses with this, right? I think we can. All right, I get the Remnant Pact. It's fantastic. I do get the Wicklash, which is good. I get the Double Drip, which is good. We're going to go ahead and Force Contamination here. So I get the Ember. I am going to... Do you want to try to get the Waxen Spike back here? Maybe so. I'm going to hold off. A good chance I roll it. Ah, it's the Remnant Pact. It's fine, right? It's not the end of the world. Blast mid-floor. Now, here, that's a really interesting question. Do I need to try to get Waxen Spike back? I don't think I do. We can simply play the Remnant Pact in front if I whiff on it, right? It's fine. I get a Consume, I'll use it, it's fine. I'm not going to go ahead and incant them if I don't need to. So let's take the double drip back just to buy more turns here. Seems okay. I will return soul again. We're just going to burn a primitive mold here. It's fine. I do intend to proclamation middle, which lets me primitive mold middle, and then I'm going to sacrificial resurrection both of the deadweights out, which is great. Fantastic. It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, for a moment I was confused why the draft was costing 0. I forgot his Forever Flame. Nailed it. And then he kind of just die, take a hit, it's fine. Sure. I see the Remnant Pact. Honestly, if I don't even hit the... I was going to say if I burn out half my floor, we're actually fine. But we see the Hallow Drippings, so we're golden here, actually. Amazing. And then I can just put Endless on more stuff. Sure. Seems good to me. Now, I haven't rolled, actually, the Crushing Demise yet. So, something to keep in mind. We're going to work on the boss here. I am going to Ancient Resonance middle here. It's good to do. We'll generate a purple. It's fine. I'll just use this guy as a tank for the time being. We begin the Return Soul. I'm actually going to grab the Ancient Resonance here to deal with mid-floor guys. That's good. Go ahead and Return Soul off floor. I'm going to take a... what? I'll take a Drip Fall here. Sure. Use this as a means there. Now, which one is hitting the boss, right? He's dead. 178, 178, 178, 178. It's this guy in back here, so he can take it. We push an extra, like, 120 through or something. Right, yeah, cool. Great. Fine. I still have not seen the Crushing Demise. Well, we're going to work on middle floor anyway, because I don't feel like dealing with this. It is not ideal. We'll etch, continue to do the etching. It's wise. I think we're probably in a pretty good state. I'm going to go ahead and return soul. We have a lot of things that I've just kind of burned at this point. So it doesn't really matter too terribly much. I'm going to leave the Wicklash in for the moment. Let's just burn like Primitive Mold because it gives me a tank. Quote-unquote tank, right? Not actually a very good tank, but it's fine. Burn another Primitive Mold here. I'm not in a rush for anything. I could actually crush the guy on middle when he shows up, but I think we do plenty of damage here, so I'm not actually worried. Do we want a Wurmkin etchings here? Pull back a whole bunch of trash? Sure, let's do it. Send it. Absolutely send it, right? Whatever, all good. Cool. I get Remnant Pact back. Fun. What do I get back? A whole bunch of random Primitive Molds. What a terrible roll. It's okay. We just put this man in front and he face tanks a bit. This is a fun amount of... we do have plenty of damage here, which is entertaining. Everyone now has Endless, by the way, for anyone keeping track. I'll burn middle floor. There's no reason for me to take those hits. I get Return Soul. I'm going to just shoot stuff, I think, right? It doesn't really matter all that much. I can just burn a Proclamation here, which is fun. I'm going to go ahead and Return Soul and... what? I'll burn a Force Contamination? Sure. Push more numbers, right? Great, we actually win because of that. I didn't even do the math, but it checks out. Sure. Look at that, we win. Hooray! The Divinity is dead. Right? I mean, it's crazy. Absolute nonsense shenanigans. I love it. This is basically Etch Shenanigans, right? That's the entire run. I'm just like, yeah, let's burn some Primitive Molds or whatever. The whole strategy is me avoiding overthinking it, because it's really easy to overthink it, and it doesn't matter. There's like a million permutations of these runs. 67k is a good score for me. Let's go ahead and hit the run summary. This is pretty solid. This is, I mean, once we saw the minor refraction, we were golden. I didn't actually end up needing the Light of Seraph. And I don't think I talked about this when I picked it up very well. So that's a mistake on my part. I want to make sure I call attention to it. I was thinking about needing to play mid-floor at this point, right? Because I had the Tiny Stone. So I'm like, okay, obviously 3 guys plus Echo Right is 5 space. We have enough space for this. So I can play middle floor, and one of them tanks for Echo Right, who is at risk of dying in 2 turns if I draw poorly. Now, obviously, Lost Luggage helps a lot with that, but you're almost guaranteed to see some kind of etch, but, he can still get overwhelmed pretty fast. We have tools, right? We have drip falls that are doing things, double stack, whatever. A lot of tools in this run, but we also have a very large deck, very intentionally, so I have tools to just throw at the etch plan, right? And just burning cards left and right. It's 100% about how many times can I burn this return soul and just fire things off. So now, eventually things did spiral a little bit, didn't end up mattering. Once we get to the point where I have the sacrificial resurrection on intrinsic, we're all but guaranteed to hit. If I need to keep Echo Right alive, I have the tools to do so. And at that point, it no longer matters. But I didn't want to accidentally be like, oh no, and suddenly I lose because I locked myself in a top floor or something along those lines. Hence the space. Obviously, in hindsight, given what we ended up seeing, draw would have been stronger, but I also don't think draw is a necessary risk to take here. So may as well guarantee the win, right? Karuska and this sort of thing makes it spiral really hard, especially on Divinity where we rolled into that Wax and Spike on turn 1 with the improved Firebox play. Fantastic. Really good. Now, we're at risk a little bit of burning out. We ended up hitting the Hallow Drippings on the right turn. I could have more aggressively played to cycle the Wax and Spike back and guarantee that burnout wasn't really a risk. But I also kind of didn't care because we had the Endless 2. I could just be like, oh no, he burned out. Great, whatever. And then I could also reform them because, reminder, I have primitive molds in this deck. So burning out isn't even that bad. So we have so many tools that pretty much any permutation that you can imagine me playing this run wins at that combat, right? I can just burn some random cards in random order and almost certainly come out to a victory. So pretty wild. This is good. This is great, in fact. A very fun sort of wild run. We even had a chance, man, sacrificial resurrection, some dead weights. That's cool, right? I don't get a chance to do this in an etch run very often. I will say it wasn't as necessary as it could have been, but it was nice. We got rid of some garbage cards that were just going to be bad draws, so fun. 3 First of Kins. That's crazy. Self-infused too. Glad we did that, by the way. That was a really smart play on our part. So otherwise, though, exactly 200 shards, a perfect run. So not much to add. Yeah, great. Go team. I don't really have anything else to add here. This is an awesome kind of crazy etch shenanigans run. So we'll call it there. Yeah, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.